people waking up in the morning, please picture it. Within themselves, they're going through a bit of a wrestling match. Should I go for surgery for my shoulder? Should I go for surgery for my hip? Or should I perhaps go to a dance class? And they're choosing all of these folk arts because what's very evident today is that mainstream medicine has gotten themselves in a lot of trouble. And so has pharmacology. So let's sing the glories of high herbalism and certainly of this art too. We ate the red pill, there's no going back. Okay, we have a very responsible job to do. Anybody else feeling that? Yeah? It's very responsible, almost overwhelming, certainly terrifying sometimes, but we have colleagues that we can go to. We have a community to share and let go of some of this responsibility. Okay, guys, very quickly, I'll just take a little bit of your time here. They're not in any particular order, but this is called White Crew. And before you touch somebody, even during the session, you can subject yourself to this also. The first one is acknowledge your lineage. Remember your teachers with reverence. Does anybody feel the importance of that one? Remember your teachers. Okay, maybe I'm included in that. I don't know. Suryan. Okay, remember your teachers with reverence. You have a pedigree of positive influences and people, and you want to spend a few moments and you want to remember that pedigree, that lineage. Okay, the second one is Vastu. It means to create a sacred space. Obviously, Suryan has created an amazing space here, my friends. So even if you're in a war zone, my friends, be aware where the sun is. Be aware where the moon is right now. Be aware, who's aware of where north is? Who knows where north is? Who knows where east is? Okay, so these are very important. Of course, being aware of the colors, the music, the fragrances, and for what reason? Just to have our art be even more wonderful, yeah? And also because the receiver really deserves it. Unity is a very important one. It takes a little bit of courage to become one with the receiver, my friends. And but you need to do that if you want to be and not do. Many massage therapists are really keeping themselves separated from the person. Oh, I only work on women. Oh, I only work on children. I only work on animals. I only work on athletes. I only work on hospice. We don't want that, my friends. We want to work on whoever comes through the door. Anybody agree with that?
Absolutely.
You have the courage to do that, my friends?
Yes.
Yeah. So unity is a very important one. What I do is I remove some labels. I even remove male and female sometimes because the soul is neither male nor female. Can you guys feel that? Okay, this life male, this life female, next life male, next life female. Okay, so you can remove that. You can remove old and young, just as an example, because the soul is neither old nor young. Is that true, my friends?
Yes.
We're eternal, whatever that means. No beginning, no end. There's a meditation for you. Okay, so we could remove some, and even remove the labels. This is just my technique, you guys. Remove the label of healthy and unhealthy. Why? Because one smile, one glance upon the person, you can change the direction of how they're feeling. And that's what's good about Eastern body work, is that they're not interested in anything but changing the direction of the challenge. If it's cancer or depression or anxiety, can we simply change the direction? Does that make sense, my friends? Yes? Sure, how easy is that too? Just change the direction. It's so easy. Sankalpa, you know this word, it means to resolve. Sankalpa means to see the session as already completed. See today as already completed. New friends, new experiences, new enlightenment. See today, see the rest of your trip here in Thailand. It's already completed with miracles and magic and everything. Okay, this is Sankalpa. So you want to spend a few moments and you want to see the person as happy, joyful, balanced. My two big ones these days are restored and rejuvenated. That's what we're representing. Let's really put that on your business card. Restoration and rejuvenation, and that's really what flag we're waving. Make sense, you guys? And please feel free to comment. I definitely appreciate some comments. Anybody want to say anything? Please.
I find a lot of value in the hiring of the teacher, and I say it every day, and I would like to not skip that this year. It would
Yep.
mean a lot to me.
We won't
Okay,
skip that,
thank
honey.
you.
Yeah. And the prayer that I did is also that.
For sure.
See, Jivaku
But
Kumar,
then Sri on past, I know this is something he likes to do, so
Yes,
I just
of course,
want to honor that.
and that's part of the Thai tradition. We definitely will do.
I just didn't want to skip that today.
Jivaka Kumara was here 2,500 years ago. He was Buddhist physician, and he was Buddha's friend. How wonderful is that? We're in his lineage. Okay, but previous to Jivaka Kumara, there was, and I'm sure Jivaka Kumara was aware of Dhanvantari, and he was aware of Vaishnaja, Amataus, Ushnisha, and Tara. These are the four healing goddesses of Tibet. This symbol here, my friend, this tapestry, that's Tibetan. That's Tibetan Buddhist. So I'm sure that Jivaka Kumar was aware of a previous lineage. So, makes sense, you guys? So
Yes.
Dhanvantari is part of your lineage. He's been on my altar for 50 years. What do you think I'm downloading up here? Who do you think I'm remembering? Tara, Vaishnaja, Amataus, Ushnisha, and also those four. All right. So this is a very important one, my friends. Anybody want to share an example of how you are replacing the activity of the mind? Don't be a therapist that comes into the room. You know, did I change the cat litter box this morning? Did I put enough quarters in the parking meter? We don't want to be that. We want that's going to go on anyway. But above that is mantra, positive affirmation, prayer, or of course Ujjayi breathing if you like. But who wants to share? How are you substituting the activity of your mind before you go into the session room? Who wants to share?
I try to clear my mind, and this would be after the consultation. So I already did the consultation, so I found out, I got to know the person, and then especially if it's a new client, I got to know the person, and figure out what kind of issues they're having, or why they're here to see me, if it's just for relaxation or mental or health for the body. And then so before entering the room, I clear my mind and then try to think positive thoughts. And that's the same thing for also when I try to work on them, then I try to think about trying to heal the person, and also thinking positive thoughts at that point as well. Is that what you're thinking?
What I do, because I try to do it fast because of timing things. I know what I do. If I start with the feet on the head, just kind of trying to connect with the breathing. I leave like 3 days, and I start doing this like recently. Just ask my God to connect me with this person and be able to help him. If you breathe in, and that's it. Just to connect with the client before my session, so I can just disconnect from my outside.
Thank you, beautiful. That's perfect. And that's going to come in that second category right over here. These, of course, can merge these two categories. Suggestions we'll get to in a moment. And anybody else want to share? Are you working with a mantra? Are you working with a positive affirmation, a prayer? If you say the word mountain, try it right now. The mind will become a mountain. Try it. If you say the word river, try it. The mind is going to become a river. If you say the word love or gratitude, the mind is going to become love or gratitude. Okay? Please, Nancy.
So I feel connected to what they both said. I definitely use this prayer every day. I also, when I come into my area of healing, it makes me so happy to be there every day that it washes away immediately. And I do breathing like her with each client before I begin to put my hands on them. And also just creating a setting, cleansing my time mat, creating a smell, the right lighting, the right sounds, all of those things together with prayer and gratitude bring me right to where I need to be.
Okay, my friends. So I think you get the drift. Replace the activity of the mind with something other than, don't let, the Buddhists call the mind what, who knows? The tyranny of the drunken monkey. And the Bhagavad Gita says it can be your best friend or your what? Worst enemy for the unenlightened. So, yeah, help the mind out a little bit, replace it with something positive, yeah? Okay, now this one is very, very important. Please perform your art. These competitions I'm not in agreement with at all, but what I am in agreement with is the type people are showing you, the practitioner is showing you how absolutely graceful, even as a practitioner, that you could be, and that is what is tradition in this culture. So, perform your art. It's a very, very important one. And in that process, you get to internalize your awareness also. Don't rely on these five senses here, you guys. They're called chutya. They're subject to making mistakes, and they're also limited in their capacity. However, if you internalize your awareness, like, let's try right now, Mula Bandha, engage in Mula Bandha. Notice how you're going to put your consciousness inwards. If you gaze at the tip of your nose, if you listen to your cosmic choir, if you curl your tongue back, even Jaladhara Bandha, pulling your chin in, that's going to be part of your performance. Even rolling your shoulders back, which is also Uddiyana Bandha, or Jaladhara Bandha. Okay, so perform your art. For no other reason that the receiver really deserves it. They really deserve your best. But we see a lot of therapists who are taking the easy way out and just, okay, I got another session to do, and okay, like this. And no. Roll your shoulders back, pull your chin in. Anytime you can express yourself, like life. Make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Okay, this one here, very, very important. You have a responsibility to help them transition from the street into the therapy room. You've heard me say this a million times, you guys. Otherwise, they have brought the street with them, and there you are giving your absolute best session, and you look over at them and you look in their eyes and you realize they haven't been present during the whole session. How frustrating is that? You just gave your best, and you're all happy and joyful, and you look over and, oh my goodness, this person was thinking about the economy, they were thinking about their family, they were thinking about politics, and they weren't present. We have a responsibility to bring them into the room, and they would also, you can suggest to them Sankalpa, to see the session is already finished. If it's a local issue, have them see their shoulder, their hip, their lower back, bring in the miracles. Let them see it as miraculously healed. Why not? Can everybody hear me all right, you guys? My hearing in 1 year, about 6 months ago, just 50% just disappeared. Welcome to getting a little bit older. I said a little bit older. They also need to sanctify their inner voice. It's a bit of a conversation. Should they be engaging their Mula Bandha on the massage table? I know with men, if you're going in for a Tantra session, you better be working with your Mula Bandha to keep the lingam. I don't know about for women, but for men, they're going to need to work on the table. But others are really lazy on the table and they don't want to do anything. But when I'm on a massage table or a massage futon, I'm working with my Mula Bandha and like that. Anybody want to comment on that? Comment?
I want to share something.
Yes, please.
So for me, I teach my clients expansive breathing and to feel. And so by default, whenever you're feeling, you're in your heart. And that's really healing, is being in your heart. And so we breathe together, and I love what Suryan's been reminding us, the breath. So the more we are in that mental, it brings us into theta. So spontaneous things happen. Everything just, we're not working when you're saying being. I feel being is feeling, being present, to feel, not just try to be present, but feel how are your lungs expanding, how's your abdomen, how's your pelvic floor expanding. So it's not about contracting, it's about and letting everything flow.
I believe the next wave is there are therapists who are afraid to even move their leg a little bit, or even like move their arm. Is everything okay? I think the next wave is really bring conscientious breathing into this session. Conscientious breathing for the practitioner and dramatic conscientious breathing. If you really want to get your bang for the dollar, bring in breathing for yourself and for the receiver. And if they want to get lazy and not do the breathing, that's up to them. But you can, and that's going to be the new wave. But right now we're all kind of going in with our drunken monkeys and all that. But I really think that that's the next wave. Conscientious breathing. I shared a little bit of it with you about collapsing the nostrils when you breathe in, effortlessly. Remember, put it on your T-shirt, effortlessly, and also pursing your lips and emptying. When you do that, you're giving them one of the best gifts possible. You're engaging the vagus nerve, my friends, and that means it's going to integrate brachial plexus, solar plexus, lumbar plexus, coccygeal, and what's the other ones? The sacral, coccygeal, lumbar, solar, and brachial. How nice is that? That's what we're looking for, to integrate body, mind, and spirit. That's exactly what we want. Only happening when you blow out more air than you took in. Makes sense, you guys? Any comments or questions, please?
On the cue, collapsing your nostrils, I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Does that mean
yeah,
like
so
softly inhale so that your nostrils aren't expanding? Does that mean pulling the nostrils like down? Like what does collapsing the nostrils?
Somebody help her, please.
Intentionally.
One person. Trisha, you want to say something? Yeah.
Intentionally. Okay. Inhale intentionally.
Might expand.
Yeah, that needs to be your way of life. Suck it in.
Katie, everybody just do one. Just one. Like that. Okay, and then you extend it. And then on the exhale, just imagine there's a candle flame, an arm's distance away, and you're going to blow out that candle flame. It was very funny, my friends. One class I gave, teachers given a certain amount of liberty to get a lesson across. So I said, oh, my friends, did you know that during Woodstock, the event at Woodstock, there was a loud voice in the sky. And the voice said, make breathing conscious. And one of the students went, Mookie, was there really a loud voice in the sky? No, there wasn't. Or maybe there was. But we're being asked to make breathing conscious because it's been in a very unconscious realm, has it not, you guys? For how long? Maybe millennia, lifetimes. It's been unconscious. Now we're being asked, relax your solar plexus. I've been watching you guys breathe. Many of you are only breathing down to here. Okay? You're not even oxygenating 9/10 of the blood in your lungs, so the focus won't be there for you. Getting things accomplished won't be there for you. You have to lower it so you bring the air all the way down to here so that the blood gets oxygenated. And on my T-shirt, my friends, it says, the culprit for disease in our society is what? Shallow breathing. Breathing is the best medicine, my friends. Absolutely. Anybody familiar with some conscientious breathing?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It just takes you into states of ecstasy very quickly. So I have a few silly ones, you guys. You've heard me say, feel the cosmic nest. Feel the security of that nest, because security is no place else. It's not at TSA. It's not with the military here. Where is security, my friends? Right there, right now. Yeah, makes sense? Silk ropes. I learned that from Ohashi in Japan. They say feel your spine becomes a silk rope. Feel your arms, your legs, your fingers, your toes become as silk ropes. Feel your head resting within a cloud, within a cloud, within a cloud. I let my client know that I'm going to do about a minute or two of a gentle hypnosis. And they're very much like this. They're very much thankful for that. Let them know. And then you have fun with your voice, and you do everything you're saying. You know? You do it at the same time. They should also be finding their inner drishti. And, you know, the meridians are referred to as rivers of rainbow light. So you can, anybody else have some suggestions they want to share? Anybody? That you use routinely during a session? Please, Simone.
I've been using the sound bowl, so I have 3 bowls in my room. So I light a candle, I do some help sound bells, and then I start ringing the bell, you know, it's,
That's a beautiful one.
yeah, and then and I suggest while they're ringing to continue to do like breathing, and sections of kava. And so they love it. Sometimes they're really drifting away, which is some of the bowls. And then I also have a playlist that I
You guys ate the red pill. How does that feel? Oh, no, Dan, you want to say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was the
I think it was an option. Oh, wait, you did say something about when you're doing the massages before that. It was clasping the what was it?
It's kegel.
Molabunga?
Oh, yeah, what does that mean?
That means your pubococcygeus muscle at the base of your spine.
So you do the kegel.
Yeah, you're doing kegel.
Okay.
And we want to do that all the time, you guys, to stay young.
Yeah. Okay, no, I just wanted to know what that meant.
Good for distributing your nutrition better, for distributing your emotions better. It's good for better sex. It's all that.
I love spraying aromatherapy when my client is face down, and the aromatherapy that they want. So, you know, if it's lavender wild, or if it's eucalyptus, or if it's bergamot or frankincense, but I like to play anugama.
yeah, I love it.
I love anugama, and I feel like that is really helpful for me to get the flow and to get a dance down. And anugama is really fun to dance with, I feel like. But
I have a mister right next to my table, right next to my futon. I'm always misting the room in the middle of the session. All over, yeah? All right. And then finally we come into puja, and that's when you connect with the person. But remember, you can use suggestions anytime during a session, and also you could use wide crew anytime during a session too. But if you want to take a few moments before you touch somebody and do those in that order. But in puja, you get an opportunity to be and not do. We're so used to doing karma yoga, you guys. That's been imposed upon us. Let's have an action so we can have a reaction. Let's have a cause so we can have an effect. And that is really old school now, and you gotta respect it. But what we want to do is be in the moment as much as possible, even right now. Yeah? You don't even know if your home is there now, right now. You don't even know if your kids are alive. You don't even know this stuff. This is how much illusion we're in. So, but if you be now, your kids pass, you can be with them later, also. Make sense, you guys?
Can I share?
Who? Yes, please.
So, me, like, if the client is receptive about communication, I do very much a being type of like intention, pray of cosmic expansion of your soul, improvise on the spot based on what I have been received from the client, and give back. And usually it's very rejuvenating and very expansive and very fulfilling, and it's just let the inspiration come in. And it's not something I practice, it's just something come to me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, we're not doing massage. It's like, can you picture we're being invited, it's almost like massage is embracing us, and we're being invited into and settling into it. Okay? Like that. So the reason that we defer judgment and analysis and diagnosis is so that you can activate intuition. So you spend a few moments and you just let go of all the judging we're doing and all the analyzing we're doing. That's not a small request, so if you can cultivate that a little bit. No judging, no analyzing, and diagnosing is actually illegal. You can suggest, but you cannot advise and you cannot diagnose. Somebody's going to call up the board and you're going to have people knocking at your door. We heard that you were diagnosing, we heard that you were advising, and now you're in trouble. But you can suggest, hey, may I suggest a little bit of walking? Can I suggest some drinking water? Like that. And internalizing your awareness during that point, and then, now everybody expand their hands like this, please, just for a moment. Okay, now expand them more, and then a whole lot more. You're only halfway there. That's how expressive you want. Try it, you're only halfway there. Do it again, come on, wide. Abduct, abduct. And so that's true for our lower back. That's true for Yanaka. When you're doing Yanaka, extend your leg all the way. Or, go into nice Dandasana, move your heart towards the person. That is what we're getting paid for. When you feel good, they're going to feel good. This is a very important one for all massage therapists to come into Eagle's pose. And then a little bit of modification. Take your fingers and pull them down like that. You can do one at a time. I sit in a restaurant sometimes and I freak people out because I do this. I look at them in a tough way. Now,
My arms is too short.
my friends, it's not just pulling the fingers down. Guess what? You got to take your thumb and press up on the finger too. Yeah. Okay, so you're not just pulling it down, you're also pressing it up in the middle. And this should be done all the time, you guys. Eagle's pose, and then learn to pull these fingers down and be very expressive. Now look freaky looking at somebody like that, you guys. It's like that picture there. Look, you see the eyes. Okay. All right, thank you so much. Comments or questions? So in Thailand, as Suryan mentioned, they begin usually between the ankles, and you can do your suggestions there. You can do your white crew there, between the ankles. So we start on the belly. Would anybody like to see me demonstrate that, what that looks like? You better say yes, because I still have your certificates. Thank you. Can I have you? I'll just take 5 more minutes of your time, and then Suryan can do Jibat. So with a woman, my friends, you would go to the left-hand side, and with a man, you go to the right-hand side. And enjoy your puja. You want to come back to puja maybe 2 or 3 times during a session. Have it be an old friend of yours. Whenever in doubt, come on back to puja. Okay, where you're connecting with the person. I'm going to be on the right-hand side only because you guys are over there, yeah? You don't have to be obsessive about that. What are you going to do when a lady boy lies down on your futon? You're going to go to the left side or right side?
Right.
Come on.
Right side.
Not whatever feels good. You want to go to the right-hand side for a baby. Okay, guys, take advantage of leaning against the person. Will that require some courage? Yes, it will. You don't know the person, and here you are leaning against them. But that's quickly replaced by courage. Okay. And inside hand, very expressive. 1 thumb width above the pubic bone. Outside hand, very expressive. There are many mudras, my friends, and I use this one quite a bit here. Okay, no judging, no analyzing, and no diagnosing. You tune yourself. There are 12 functions here, but there's 3 important ones: the soul, the breathing, and the heart. And it's very complementary to tune yourself to those 3 forces. And the way you attune yourself is by asking quality questions exclusively. Do not be concerned with the answers. Just quality questions. Somebody make up a question about her breathing. Please share with the room. Who would like to share a question about her breathing?
What is the quality of her breathing?
There it is. Okay, there is no wrong question. Who would like to make up a question about her heart? Is it full? Very nice. Okay. And what about her soul?
Is it satisfied?
Okay, is she anxious? Is she serene? Is she feeling fulfilled? There is no wrong question, and it's very complimentary because it's called an attunement. You're attuning yourself to the receiver. It will require some courage. And you stay in this position here. I would do my white crew sometimes. I would certainly sway back and forth like a candle flame. I would find my Sushumna, and many times the client would say, Mukti, the whole room just changed. And yeah, because you just changed the brainwaves. Make sense, everyone? Yeah. So spend a little time and really be with the person. And it's a very responsible position, my friends. Like, I'm going to show you my flow today. If I get the message to go to her upper body, I will go to her upper body. If I get the message to go down here, but that's only going to happen if you ask, if you inquire within about where to go. Okay? Instead of assuming, you want to leave it open, inquire, and then you'll be directed. And later on the client will say, how did you know to go to my hip? How did you know to go to my shoulder? And because you came from an empty computer. Make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Comments or questions? And this is where you would shuffle backwards, you would slide your hand up, and you would invite them to do some deep breathing. You focus here, and then sometimes you put your palm here also, and you just have them. It's a very complimentary thing to do. You would suggest collapsing your nostrils. You would suggest expelling all your air so she can engage her vagus nerve like that. Yeah, guys? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Mukti, one more question. What's
Yeah,
the difference between Waikru and Puja?
Was it?
The difference between Waikru and Puja.
Not much. I think it,
Is
yeah.
Puja done at the moment and Waikru's done beforehand, or is it
I think they're almost the same.
almost the same?
They're almost the same. Everybody hear that, you guys? I'm just categorizing. I'm a bit of a nutcase. I went to Valley Forge Junior Military College. That's what kind of nutcase I am. So I like to categorize and help people understand like that. But good question, bro. White Crew and Puja are very much the same. Okay, guys? So lots of love. And I will turn this over to Suryan right now. And then later on, I'll demonstrate my flow for you. And maybe you want to use it as your flow.